Quick show of hands. Who before today heard about this movie or knew what it was about? If you haven't noticed, I haven't raised my hand. The Lair was directed by Neil Marshall and stars Charlotte Kirk as the leading character. As a British soldier who is shot down over enemy territory, she must fight to survive against soldiers who would like to see her dead. But while hiding from them, she discovers in a dark area in a very secretive room, there may be another enemy lurking about that would also like to see her killed. Only this may not be of this world, and this could prove to be more sinister. The Lair is a movie that has gotten pretty much no attention, got released in late October around Halloween season, and just got brushed under the rug. And after seeing it, I honestly can say I do understand why. This movie looks like it has a decent enough production to it. It looks like there is some money behind it, and it looks like there was some care put into it. However, it just doesn't have the punch that it would have needed to really land during that time, especially with Black Adam being out at that time, along with Halloween Ends, Till, and tons of other movies. Furthermore, this movie isn't necessarily the most original plot. It sounds really great. Like, on paper, this is really good. But after watching the movie, I couldn't help but just feel like the movie seems like it's ripping off Aliens a lot. And not in a good way, like homage type, but just like ripping it off and trying to change it a little bit. The lead character here reminds me a lot of Ripley's in there, and there are literal plot beats and points that definitely remind me of that film. So it's kind of falling into the same problem that I've been having a lot this year, of films not being original enough. Only this is to the extreme of physically just taking something else that worked and trying to use it in their own style. Now, there are good things to this movie. I think it has some really great sequences within that area, that layer that she's in, where she's trying to fight to survive. There's one really great one where she's trying to move along. Like, she's trying to escape, but she has to use everything for cover and cause distractions. That was shot really well. That was really well done. But there's not enough in this movie to really mitigate it, to have to be in, like, this grand scale that it was treated like in the trailer. Because it's just an average movie. It's fine at best, and at worst, it's so bad that you want to pull your hair out. And that's never something you want from a film, especially a film that's trying to drive itself on being action science fiction with a little touch of horror in it. I can't believe that this wasn't done better, because there's potential within this. If they wanted to use Alien as merely a inspiration, for instance, this could have worked a lot better, but they don't. There's not enough in here, and the protagonist isn't necessarily the best written character I've seen in a while. I didn't necessarily feel that there was a chance that anything was going to go wrong, because there's not very well built up tension in this movie. It's not ever trying hard enough to convince me that there's actual peril that could happen. You more or less just see things that are scary. She screams, and then along the way, like, some bad guys get killed that you don't care about. But I don't really care about the bad guys. So that's not necessarily making me feel scared in the movie. And a lot of the uses of terror are just like those shots where you stand there and something moves behind them, or it pops up behind them. There's a sound effect to accompany it where it's like, so it's like, it's not being used as effectively as it should. The action here also is just very underwhelming. It didn't work as well as it should, and a lot of it looks just very artificial. So it's a combination of a lot of issues that came together in this movie. It should be better than it is. Unfortunately, it's not. It struggles to find its footing and find a way to tell its story. That's my biggest issue. The direction also could have definitely used some help in here. It's not at its best point. This just feels like a C movie, which could have gone straight to streaming, didn't need the theatrical release that it had, and like I said, I wasn't very disappointed in this movie. I wanted better, and unfortunately, there wasn't much in this movie that actually made it a film to be experienced. It was just there, and I waited for it to end, and I was like, I'm done now, because that was it. And the fact that I just saw it, and I'm having trouble remembering some of the events that took place in it, isn't necessarily a good sign either. So I'm going to say this really isn't worth your time. I heard some people that are curious about this, so I decided to talk about the movie. Don't think you should. Just, it's fine. You're not missing anything new. Few cool sequences scattered very far and few between, but not enough to actually say you should go watch the movie. I'm going to give The Lair a 4 out of 10. Thank you guys always so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you all next time.